Hey, hey, hello everybody. Welcome back to our tarot chat. I have been actually really excited about this chat all day. I love talking about tarot and I hope that you guys enjoyed Monday's chat. I feel like I didn't organize that chat as clearly as I had wanted to. I kind of got off topic a few times, but today I have a really fun exercise for you. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk about different spreads. So we talked on Monday a lot about the 3-card spreads that I would recommend starting with if you wanted to have like a daily practice. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I do for like new moon, full moon, and that sort of thing. And I'm actually going to take you through the actual reading that I did last week for the new moon, which includes a 6-card draw from Biddy Tarot. It's just one of her new moon like manifesting spreads. So this kind of combines last week and this week. And I'm going to show you the cards that I drew in 2 different decks. So I'll show you in the Everyday Witch Tarot versus how that exact card looks in the Hermetic Tarot. And then I'm going to break down what each card meant to me in that reading. And I think that'll be a really like a good learning experience to see kind of what you can draw from different decks. Because I know one question that a lot of people often have is, you know, there's different pictures on each deck. So does that mean that the message is different? So that's a really important question. And I think that it's fun to talk about it. Hello, everybody. Hey, 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 Angela. Hey, Debbie. Hi, Kate. Yay. Rana's here. Janet's here. Hey, Laura. Evelyn's here. It's so good to see you guys. Hey, Timoana. I'm so glad you all are here. Hey, Jenna. So we're going to do this. I also wanted to show you, well, not only look how nice my office looks. I literally treated yesterday like a vacation day. I was thinking through plot stuff for The Witch's Door as I was going through and literally kind of decluttering my office. If you go to my Instagram for Heart Breathings, which is Heart Breathings blog, you'll see over here I bought a new cart from Michael's. I don't know if I can actually I think I could show it. Okay. So this is my new like cart. I have 3 in my office. Yes, it's excessive. I don't need more than 3. But I bought this cart that is a little bigger than other ones, and I moved a lot of my pins to this back cart here. So they're no longer like behind me here with all my sticker books. And so it just feels like I have more space for when I'm like packaging up books and things like that. So I don't know if JC is here, but JC, I sent out your book. Tiger Lily Karen, I sent out your book along with an extra for you. And I sent out Patricia's notebook that she won in the manifesting one. And then I also sent out to Sarah over at Heart Breathing. Sarah K won the notebook challenge this month. And my first winner did not respond. So she was my second winner, and I sent out her Archer and Olive today. So I made a trip to the post office, but as I was like packaging everything up, it was so nice to have extra space. So it was great. Plus I've got this right here. It's kind of like blurred out, I guess, by the light, but it's a little, like a brand new, why is my brain going? Essential oil diffuser. I use Revive essential oils and I really like them. So right now I do have, a set of Revive oils that are like mommy fuel or concentration that kind of have some citrusy scents to them. And I like working with all those. So I just think it's really fun to use those oils. And this particular one changes colors. I got it from Amazon. It was pretty inexpensive, I would say. A lot of like mommy YouTubers that I follow have the one from Young Living that's like a globe and it changes colors and it's really pretty. But I went on to one of their like essential oil websites and it was like $250. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to invest in that. But this one I got for maybe like $30 from Amazon, which I thought was really great. So, and I do have a Cricut. I saw Bethany asked about a Cricut. I do have a Cricut right here, but I don't put it in the cart because I find it hard to use. I'm guessing if people are using it in the cart, they're actually like pulling it out to use it and then putting it back. In my new office, which we just got off the phone with the builder, they call every week, they are already putting up blocks. So yeah, I did notice that. So George, I don't know if George is here, so I'm just gonna put this here. But there's already like concrete blocks and everything, and the foundation is going down. So it's just lots of really fun stuff. And look, the Amazon guy is here. I feel like he's always coming when I'm live, and he can see me today because I have the windows open. So I'll just like give him a quick wave. So anyway, our house is getting built, and I'm thinking about how I want to arrange my office. So lots of that stuff going on. But back to tarot. So, the other thing I wanted to show you is, so George, for our anniversary / Christmas, had ordered an altar pentacle for me, which is just like a coin, a pentacle that had a dragonfly on it. And I knew I was getting it because I'm the one who sent him the link, but apparently it was handmade in the Ukraine. So it has taken this long for it to get here, but it just got here today. And I wanted to show you how beautiful is this. Oh my gosh. I was so excited. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. And it's really beautiful. So it's like it's probably not hand carved, but it's hand painted, and it's beautiful. So this will go up on my altar space upstairs as just a little focus area, probably put some crystals on there. And I just think it's so pretty. I love it so much, but it literally, I think he ordered it in early November. Yes. And it's purple too. I was like, oh my gosh. So I got this from a shop called Pandora Witch Shop. And they tell you on there that it could be several months to get there because everything is handmade, but I was not expecting for it to take like 4 or 5 months to get here, 4 months, but it's worth it. And I love it. So I had to share with you guys because I thought you would love it too. Yeah, go George. Woo woo. He said he's got something else that he ordered for me too that has still not gotten here, but I'm not sure I know what that is. So it might be a surprise. So, all right. So let's talk about readings other than just the 3 card readings. Let me share this screen here. Here we go. Okay, so that was my little manifesting thing. We talked about 3 cards. So we talked just briefly about the Celtic cross. NL says, is it custom? It's not custom. It's just something you can order from their site, but it was hand painted and handmade. They probably, I imagine with the detail in this, it was some kind of like router machine that created it. But hand painted, and it's beautiful. But I can leave you guys a link in the coven if you guys would like to see a link to where to get it, because they have lots of other things. But I was like, how perfect that it's purple with a dragonfly. It was just meant for me. So one of the most common readings, and this is the reading that I got started on, even though it is a little bit harder of a reading, is called the Celtic cross. I'm not sure where this originated or what year this started or anything about the history of it, but I have used this spread many times. And sometimes I will do this on bigger events like a birthday, or I don't usually do it. I used to always do it on a full moon. Now I don't anymore because it does take some time to read this many cards at night. And when you got 2 kids, you need to, condense your readings sometimes. But you draw 10 cards, and same as before, you can do just, you can shuffle them, and then you can just draw the top 10 cards if that's what you feel, but just trust your intuition. And with me, when I say trust your intuition, I mean literally listen to the thoughts that go through your head. So if you're pulling your cards and you hear something in your head that says draw the card on the bottom, then just do it and just follow that. If it says shuffle again, just do it. If it says pick a card from the middle, just follow that intuition. And you know what? I feel like if it's, at least in my journey, I will say, I feel like if I draw a card and I feel like it's the wrong card, I have to kind of ask myself, is this just because I'm afraid of what that card says? Or is this because I really was not listening to my intuition? And sometimes I'll hear a little voice in my head that says, pull the card from the bottom of the deck, but I'll pull the top one instead because I'm not always used to listening to my intuition. And I'll see that card and I'll immediately know I've drawn the wrong card. And so I'll put it back and go ahead. So like I said, at least in my opinion, and there are lots of different opinions on this kind of thing, I think that it's okay to put cards back, to learn from your experience too. But what you don't want to do is listen to your intuition, put a card down, and then be like, oh, that's not the card I wanted to hear. Because if you really want to be open to what the tarot is saying to you, you really need to draw in and understand what that fear is that's inside you. But I don't focus so much on the rules, but I respect anyone who does. So if you're here and you're saying, no, that is not how you do it, this is how you do it, then feel free to put that in the chat that you say, this is how I learned it, and I would like for you to check this out, this resource. I will not be offended by that. All I can do is share my own experience. So the Celtic Cross, like I said, is one that kind of guides you through the potential of where your life is going to go in regards to a specific question that you have over the next, let's say, 6 months to a year. So this one to me is a little bit more complicated. And when you're first learning, this is a good way to draw a lot of cards because, like I said, you're drawing 10 cards. And to read a Celtic Cross, you don't just look at the cards individually. You want to figure out how they all work together as a whole. So you can draw each card and tell what it means for that specific space. So like card number 1 goes in first, and it's kind of on the bottom there. And it's like, where are you right now? Some people for the Celtic Cross number 1, they will choose a card for the number 1 slot. Like they'll say, I feel that I am in a place of manifesting right now. So they will pull the Magician and put that card down without having to actually like draw a mystery card, so to speak. They'll just choose which card they feel like represents them. Other people will just choose a card like normal. But when you go through it and you read the number 1 card, the Magician and the number 1 slot might have a very different meaning than if you pull the Magician in the 7 slot. So this is a good chance to really explore the meaning of cards. So if you want to get like, get in and get your hands dirty with tarot and really get to know stuff really quickly, this is a good way to do it. So you can go ahead and just check this out. You can search on YouTube for Celtic Cross. Probably tons of people have walked through how to do this. But what we're going to go and talk about specifically today is not the Celtic Cross, but I wanted you to be aware of it if you really wanted to go through something, because this actually takes you kind of on a journey of where you are right now, what is challenging you, what is happening in your life, not only on a subconscious level, but on, a conscious level, and then taking you through your hopes and fears to what your future might be if you continue on the current path. So this has a really powerful message to it, and you can ask very specific questions, or you can just say, am I on the right path? And it will take you there. It really has a potential to draw out a lot of your own intuition and thoughts about your own situation. Like you're thinking about, should I take a new job or not? This would be a good spread to carry yourself all the way through that, because it gets really in depth in the exploration. But like I said, it takes some time to go through. Every new moon and full moon, I will do these types of spreads. I have really come to like newagehipster.co. I like their site. I like their Instagram and things. So I just really like it. And I love this full moon magic spread that they have that I'm showing on the screen. And I just think that this is a cool one, and it's only 6 cards, which takes a little bit less time. And it's pretty straightforward questions. Where are you at this full moon? That's a similar question to that where are you now, number 1 kind of thing in the Celtic Cross. What needs to be seen and known? What needs to be released? What energy should I call in or draw to myself? What intentions do I need to set? And what magic will be made? So if you see, it's a very similar type of journey to the Celtic cross, but it's specific for the full moon. And so I will often do this spread every full moon. Sometimes I'll switch it up, but I do like that spread a lot. Then the one on the left here is the new moon manifestation spread from Biddy Tarot. So again, it's 6 cards. She does have a more recent version of this that she recently put on her Instagram that had the 6 cards more in a circle instead of just 3 and 3. But this is basically, what have I released since the full moon? Because remember, the full moon is more about releasing. So what have you successfully released since the new moon or full moon? Where are you now? Number 3, what energy is emerging within me? Number 4, what do I wish to grow? Number 5, how can I bring my goals and intentions to fruition? Because now you're trying to manifest something new in your life. So what am I trying to grow? What do I want to manifest? And how can I bring these goals and intentions to fruition? And then finally, the 6th question is, what additional resources are available to me as I manifest my goals? So I like these 2 spreads in conjunction with each other every new moon and full moon, because the new moon manifestation spread is really so much about, what do I want to manifest? What do I want to bring to light? And what tools do I have? Then the full moon spread is, what do I need to be aware of and what needs to be released so that I can prepare for the next cycle of the moon when I'm ready to re-manifest, like start manifesting again. And so I really like the way these 2 6-card spreads work together. So I'm going to take you through the actual process of what I drew the other night when I did the full moon spread. And like I said, I've pulled these cards from both my Hermetic Tarot, which is the tarot that I was actually using the other night, and from the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I will show you this in I'll make myself a little bit bigger. But usually when I go to do my full moon or new moon spreads, I will light some candles, turn on some music that doesn't have voices. So some kind of meditation music or ocean sounds or something that just makes me feel like, so those ambiance videos here on YouTube, like cafes or, you guys know the haunted house one might not be as appropriate for drawing tarot, but you do you. But there's tons of ambiance videos. So you could say tarot card ambiance. There's probably something there. I know there was like a fortune teller caravan one that had like bubbling potions and stuff that I really liked for a long time. Magical cafe, all of those kinds of things. So I will turn something like that on so I can get myself kind of in the mood. I'll turn the lights down. I will usually light some incense and some candles. Sometimes I will cast a circle. Sometimes I don't worry about that. And I just do a drawing. And I always keep track of my readings in my tarot notebook. So just to kind of show you again, this is my current yearly tarot notebook. And what I'm using for this notebook / planner is a Hobonichi cousin. So this is the A5 size of the Japanese planner, the Hobonichi. Hobonichi is unique in that it has not only yearly spreads, but monthly spreads, weekly spreads, and daily spreads. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but I have it inside a cover from Salty Katie Co. on Etsy. And I just last year I kept my Hobonichi in a Hello Kitty cover. And this year I have it in this one that has the stars. And I just really, really like this. And then I put these decals on it because I thought it was cute. And then on the inside, I made a little washi dashboard. I did actually record the setup of this, so I just need to edit it and I'll put it up on this channel for you guys if anyone's interested. And then on the yearly spread, it's just a 2-page spread. I always mark what cards I drew. And you can see here, I had it downstairs because I was showing you guys. So I've got it recorded upstairs instead of here. But I always record what card I drew, and where it says like new moon or full moon, I didn't draw, I drew 6 cards. So I didn't put them here. I put them on the weekly chat instead. So on my weekly one, the monthly one, I tend to just keep track of like synchronicities or things that are interesting. Like, oh, I got a new haircut, or I got, Hello Kitty pen, or like Holly Black, who is a pretty famous YA author, sent me a message on Twitter, and I was like, what? How does she even know who I am? So I marked that, stuff like that. And so I keep that on the, oh no, YouTube said it was at 9 p.m. Oh my gosh, that is an error. I keep that on the monthly spread, and then on the weekly spreads, I will write what the card was for the day, and then what I think that card meant for me to the day. And I don't do anything special, like no special decorations. It's just a record of my thoughts. Then on the daily page, I will usually write something a little bit more detailed about what happened that day or what's going on in my thoughts for that card or anything like that. So it's just a little bit of journaling. And on the nights like the new moon or the full moon, I will sometimes use 2 full pages, like you can see that I did here. And I will write out that spread and what those 6 cards meant. So that's what we're going to walk through today, is kind of what these cards look like and how I interpreted them according to that Biddy Tarot reading. Christabel says, Holly Black and Cassandra Clare are writing companions. They have a series together, but they talk through their other books too. I know. And this puts me like just 2 degrees of separation from Cassandra Clare too. So it was just a crazy thing that happened. I didn't even know. So I have them actually, if you can see back. Oh, I have such a hard time pointing to stuff on YouTube. This red discs right here is a fan sent them to me, and they're dragonfly discs. And Holly Black sent me a message on Twitter that said, you've 1000% already seen these, right? With a link to these metal discs with the dragonflies. And I kind of freaked out because I was like, is this real Holly Black, or did her account get hacked? I was just like, I didn't understand what was happening. And yeah, so it turns out that she has been watching my Heart Breathings YouTube channel throughout the entire pandemic, and actually in November had sent me an email, and I did not even see it. So if I don't respond to your emails, don't feel bad. I didn't respond to a famous author either. I just don't always see all of my emails. So then we've connected and we've been chatting through email. So Holly, if you watch this channel too, hello and welcome to our tarot talk. But she's amazing. And so it just felt like it was a cool thing that happened, because I've been a fan of her books for so very long. And she is famous, and she's amazing, and she's super talented, and I just love her. And yeah, so she's great. If you have not read her books, gosh, there are a lot of really good ones that you could check out. One of her more recent series is the Cruel Prince. I forget the name of the actual series name, but it's like the Cruel Prince. There's 3 books in that series, and those are really, really good as well. So I would definitely check those out if you get a chance. She wrote a series with Cassandra Clare. She also wrote the Spiderwick Chronicles, if you've ever seen that or read that before. And the Curse series, so like White Cat, those are kind of my favorite ones. So I just think she's really amazing, and I just love her. So anyway, I saw her on the annual planning live, and I was freaking out for you. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see her on that. It's like, what is happening? I don't know. But anyway, I digress from the conversation. But I wrote that down in my actual planner because I want to keep track of synchronicities. This is something I talked about with the manifesting, but I keep it in my tarot journal because this is where I keep all of those types of things. So the synchronicities, like if you're trying to draw something into your life and you want to, really, she's here. You guys, I can't even believe I'm sitting here talking about her and she's here. I'm gonna die. Hi, Holly. You guys are going to see me completely like, I'm going to have to just like faint. So yes, hello, Holly. I'm talking about you and you're here. So welcome to our Coven chat. So I like to write those kinds of things. You should have been like, wait, you're going to embarrass yourself. I did actually order more of those dragonfly discs, but I like to keep track of those types of synchronicities and things in my life because, you know, Holly is an author that I looked up to before or as I was just getting started writing back in 2010. And, you know, walking into a Barnes and Noble and seeing her books and thinking, I want to be like her someday. And then 10 years down the road, having her watch some of my videos and reach out to me is just such a huge thing in my life because I think it shows that I'm making a difference, that I'm making connections with people that are so, you know, important in my life, that have been important in my journey. And I think that it is just something that should be celebrated in your own life. So if you do not have, if you want to get into manifesting and tarot and you do not have a tarot journal or any place that you can keep track of those synchronicities, I highly recommend that you get something. It doesn't have to actually be a, you know, Hobonichi or something like that. It can literally just be any type of notebook. Jennifer says, I'm so enjoying seeing Sarah be a fangirl in the ways we're fans of hers. You guys are so sweet. I feel like I'm going to be like blushing now. So at Michael's, for example, if you have a Michael's near you, they have great notebooks that are literally $5. They're so easy to grab. The Dollar Tree has them, Dollar Store has them. You can run into Walmart and find really great notebooks. It doesn't have to be like a fancy notebook. But anything that is going to make you happy is to, you know, is going to work. But keeping track of those synchronicities in your life can make a huge difference because it's like opening your heart to the universe and saying, I am open to messages from authors that I admire. I am open to making those connections with people that are on a, you know, a higher level than I am with their success. And I am open to learning from them and befriending them and changing my life in these ways. And so, you know, anytime something happens that makes me feel good or that feels like a level up or a fun little wink from the universe, like yesterday. So I'm sure you guys have heard this before, but like angel numbers and things that you see over and over, especially like 1111, can be a wink from the universe that you just happen to look at the clock directly at 1111. And if this happens to you a lot, it can be a sign from the universe that you are on the right track to manifesting and drawing in the things that are important in your life. And so yesterday I was sitting here enjoying my clean office. Evie was down on the floor drawing away on the stuff. And I just thought, oh, I'm just going to allow myself to soak in this joy right now. I'm so happy. And I just want to feel this moment of being content and being happy and being grateful for everything I have. And as I said that, I like turned around to talk to Evie and I knocked my phone off the desk and the phone landed upright and it said 1111. So this was yesterday morning. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. You know, it's just that little wink of a moment. So that's the kind of thing that went into my planner that night that says, you know, was enjoying happiness and letting that soak in and really trying to open my heart and expand in that type of joy. And I saw those numbers. So thank you so much for that sign that life is going well and I'm on the right track. So welcome those things into your life. All right. So now that I have properly fangirled, new moon reading, I think this will be kind of cool. So like I said, you've got this reading that I did. So I get myself prepared. I will put out all the pretty washi tape, like the dragonflies and things like that. And I will, you know, kind of take a deep breath. And I will just think something along the lines of like spirit guides or anyone who is here for my highest good, help to guide my reading tonight, help me to see the messages that I need to see and to open my heart to the message that I need to receive. So I'll usually kind of put myself in that space, turn on my ambiance music, and then I will draw these cards. And like I said, for my process, it's often I will shuffle the cards and then I will pull them sort of like toward myself like this. And any cards that pop out or that I see or any little message that pops into my head, like stop shuffling and just draw from the top, I will do that. And I just have learned to really listen to myself when it comes to that and not doubt it or feel awkward about it. Because when I first started, I was like, should I listen? What if I don't know best? But like, you always know best. And that's the whole point of the tarot, is to draw out your intuition. So do it, trust it. And the more you begin to lean on it, the better readings you'll start to have. So the first question in this reading is, what have I released? And the card that I drew was the 9 of Pentacles, which traditionally is kind of like a treat yourself kind of. I don't know if you guys are fans of Parks and Rec, but that's like one of my favorite shows of all time. So it's that kind of treat yourself sort of energy of, you have really manifested a lot of things. You've done really good work. And now it's time to really enjoy and treat yourself. So I had to sit and think for a while, like, what does that exactly mean that I've released this thought of treating myself? And what we were going to talk about a little bit, and I'll talk about it here because I think this is a good spot, is, do you read the cards like this? Or if they pop out, do you read them upside down and reversed? And this is a topic of much debate, so we'll only touch on it a little bit. But you can do it any way you want to do it. My tarot guru, Tanya, that was actually here with us a few times before, she always reads them upright, because it doesn't matter if they're upright or reversed. You can still get the message either way. But if it helps you to read them reversed, you can also read them reversed. If you go to a site like Biddy Tarot, or often in the book that comes with your cards, it will tell you one meaning for if it's upright and one meaning for if it's reversed. And usually what people do is just however it comes out of the deck in your hand, that's how you put it down. And if it's reversed, then you read the meaning for the reversed meaning. But often it doesn't mean the opposite. Usually when a card is reversed, it doesn't mean the opposite. It means, in a way, it's like, if it's upright, this is sort of what's happening on the surface. And if it's reversed, this is something that's happening deeper inside of you, like with your emotional state or your shadow self. And so you can really get either one of those meetings. And so this is really a place where you need to just listen to your intuition, because I tend to just read everything upright instead of reversed. And so when I pulled the 9 of Pentacles, what I started to understand, so this is the Hermetic Tarot, and you can see it's just pentacles with a bunch of flowers. And then at the bottom, it kind of has that meaning that comes from the Order of the Dawn. Someone that knows this is just going to be really mad. But it says Lord of Material Gain. And so I feel like so I agree kind of with Pam. I don't read reversals. There are enough in the tarot that can already be interpreted as a block or a shadow. And I feel like when you're looking at the card in relationship, especially when you're reading for yourself, you can tell if it's what it's meaning, because you just will intuitively begin to know. So for me, when I saw this about material gain and I'm releasing this, what I started to understand is that I'm, in a lot of ways for myself, letting go of this feeling that I don't deserve abundance. And so it does it, Order of the Golden Dawn. Thank you very much. I was like, is it Order of the Golden? Yes. Okay. Thank you very much, Gina, and Elizabeth. So the Lord of Material Gain looks like this in the Hermetic Tarot, 9 of Pentacles. In the Everyday Witch Tarot, you can see it looks very different. She's got her wine, she's reading her book, she's got all these fruit trees behind her, a lot of abundance. Of course, she's got her witch hat on the floor next to her, and so on. So you've got this really cozy sort of scene here where she's really taking care of herself. And actually, is there even a cat on this one? There's always a cat. Oh, the cat is on her shoulder. Look at that. It's so cute. I was like, there's always a cat. There's got to be a cat. So you can see these two cards next to each other Same basic meaning, but what is different about different decks is that you're going to it's going to draw different parts of your intuition because the imagery is going to draw on your own experience. Whereas this card doesn't really tell you that much. I mean, you can look at these and you can see there's a lot of flowers, there's abundance here, everything's growing, the flowers are blooming, it's looking very nice. Plus you see the words material gain. But if you were just new getting started with tarot, you might get more out of this image of like, oh, she is relaxed. She is treating herself. She's got nice food, nice wine. She's got her feet up. She's like comfy. She's got the cat on her shoulder. So you might find that this type of imagery speaks more to you. And yeah, like Carrie said, you'll resonate with differently with different decks. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the Nine of Pentacles has two different meanings to it, but it can mean that since the tarot is a tool for drawing out your own intuition, you might resonate with different images in different ways. And so you might develop a different relationship with different decks and different images over time. So it's really interesting. So, the way that I started to see this for myself, yay, look, 111, there's our 111 numbers. So Nine of Pentacles for me, immediately I knew in my mind when it said, what have I released? It was for me this feeling of, I don't deserve big things. I don't deserve time to rest. I don't deserve time to just chill out because I got to be hustling. I got to be moving all the time. And I realized that after the past, really after having a tough quarter last quarter, and not even fully enjoying my vacation the way that I wanted to, I just started to understand that I needed more rest time and that it didn't matter how much money or how many books or how much followers I have, that really what matters is, am I taking time to get back to that joy of writing and joy of being here with you all? And, is it becoming a burden or am I really loving my life? And so this was confirmation for me personally that what have I released in the last few weeks is this need to always be hustling. I've released this idea that I don't deserve to take the rest. And you'll see in terms of later cards in this drawing, how that continued to be shown to me throughout. So the next card is Where Am I Now? This card that I drew in this section is the 10 of Pentacles, which I thought was so perfect. And the minute I saw it drawn, I was like, oh, thank you. It was just such a message. And this is why I love tarot so much. So in the Hermetic Tarot, you've got the 10 of Pentacles, very similar type of card to the 9 of Pentacles, just more flowers. And at the bottom, it says Lord of Wealth. But if you want to look at it in the Everyday Witch Tarot, you're looking at a more traditional image for the 10 of Pentacles, which is a family and a lot of lush greens, a big house in the background, that true happiness. And if you'll notice, the couple on here is older and they have their whole family around them. They're with everyone that they want to be with. They have everything they need. All their needs are taken care of. So this one, you see the wealth, you see the abundance, but here you see an image that you might recognize a little bit more. And I'm not at all saying one is better than the other, because this is actually the deck that I was preferring to use. But like Gina had mentioned, this has a lot more like esoteric symbology. It has it's the Hermetic Tarot. It's got a lot of symbols, and there's even more than what you could even imagine. Like, you could go really deep into this deck. And I have always loved this deck, but this one I also love. And so when I saw, I've released this fear of not being enough. I've released this idea that I can't have good things, or that I don't deserve it. And part of that comes, and this is just, I know this is like a hard thing to talk about sometimes, but part of this is when I just launched Publish and Thrive, I had my first ever 6-figure course launch. And I'm not saying that to be bragging at all. And I know money is a tough subject, but it is part of this tarot reading for me. And it was my first ever launch where I had that huge of an income. And before, something like that would have knocked me on my butt. And it would have been like, me in depression, me in fear mode, thinking I can't do this. I don't deserve it. Everybody's going to hate it. I'm going to get a bunch of complaints. Like, I don't deserve this. I just want to disappear. And instead, I kind of rose to that challenge and said, this is something Denise Duffield Thomas says. She's kind of a expert when it comes to money blocks. And she says to repeat to yourself, I serve, I deserve. And that was something that I did for myself. Is like, the point of this is not just to make money. Obviously, I need to make money in order to keep going in this work that I'm doing. But I also serve people. I'm giving of my heart and giving of myself. And so therefore, I do deserve reward back for that. And that sometimes, especially I feel like for women, is often a very difficult place to get to, because we're taught that you're greedy or you're selfish. But the truth is, the more you receive, the more you can give to others. And I just love that feeling of finally being able to step into it and say, I am giving of myself. I am offering information and a service that is valuable to people. Therefore, I do deserve this. And I have worked hard for this. And being able to actually say that is pretty huge. And it is a difficult thing to talk about, because I know that also is like, where's my evil eye bracelet? Because I know that pulls other people that will say she doesn't deserve that. It's like, there's probably a downvote going up on this video right now, but I have to step out of that. So in this tarot reading, it was affirmation for me that I have released that feeling of not deserving. But when it says, where am I now? I have stepped into the 10 of Pentacles. I have stepped into the truth to, what is really like, what I'm really doing in the world, what I really want to do in the world. If you've ever read the book, The Big Leap, it's all about, I have finally reached a better part of my zone of genius. Like, really sharing my experience is part of my zone of genius. Teaching other authors is part of my zone of genius. But so is this, like building community and, getting to know you guys and spending this time with you. This is something that brings me joy. And, this is part of all of these kinds of things. So I just think it's really fun to look at that progression. And when I saw that moment of, yeah, I know, I'm going to block this time. When I saw that moment of releasing the 9 of Pentacles and embracing, like moving into the 10 of Pentacles, I knew that it was magical. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that you can't manufacture. It's just, that is part of what the tarot does for you. And I thought maybe it would help you guys to see that process. So then the third question here is, what is emerging within me? And the card that I drew, which is not surprising considering the question, right? And the first movement there, the first card is the 4 of Swords. Lord of rest from strife. Hello, that means resting from the hustle. How perfect is that from the first card now to this one? What's emerging within me is this need to take the time to rest and play and get back to joy and comfort. I don't have to hustle. I don't have to work twice as hard, being afraid that I'm going to lose everything that I've built. Because in the past, when I would hit a certain level of success, I would always sabotage, or I would feel like I have to work 2 or 3 times so that I can't, 2 or 3 times harder so that I could maintain what I have. Or I would feel like I don't deserve this, and so I have to work 5 times as hard just to prove that I do deserve it. And so now this is that stepping into a moment of, I deserve rest, I deserve joy. And I just think both of these cards can portray that. You've got kind of the symbols here, but you could really look at all these different swords, all the clouds, the hands raising, the words on the bottom. But then in this deck, you can see the actual rest here that's going on. She's actually sleeping with her little kitty, kitty sleeping next to her. So welcome back, LA. We are just going through my new moon spread from last week. So number 4, what do I wish to grow? So what is it I'm trying to manifest from this point on? And I really love this one because sometimes, when you're drawing your cards, you're like, yes, this is so in alignment. This is exactly what I needed to see. So the card that I drew here is the Three of Cups, or the Lord of Abundance. And you can see in this particular card, you've got the flow of the water, you've got the various other symbols here, but you've got the flowers. And like I said, I have not gone deep into the symbols here, but I know that these messages resonate with me. These images resonate. But if you did not get these images, you can see here pretty clearly what the Three of Cups means. So you've got the three women in the water, their skirts lifted, very like under the moon, their little witchy coven gathering, right? With the kitties playing in the background. And I love this one. I love this card. And I feel like this is so true because I have gotten so much closer over the past year. Like, something that I had really wanted to bring into my life was more community with, especially in particular, other women in my life. And I feel like this was just another nod to the fact that, yes, you don't have to hustle so hard. And in fact, what I'm trying to grow and what I want to grow is more deeper relationships with the women that I'm close to. Not only all of you who show up here every week, and even our guys in the covens, not just women, all of our guys too, but also our, like my relationship with Amber, my mentor, my relationship with Tanya, my tarot mentor, my relationship. So I told you guys that I joined this Manifestation Babe Academy, and it just so happened that one of my followers on Heart Breathings, who is also an author, is taking the course this round too. So when we were supposed to buddy up with other people to create accountability groups within, like accountability partners, I got paired up with her and with another author. So now what do you have? Three of us in our own little manifesting group. And so I just felt like, yes, this is exactly what I want to draw into my life, is this sense of community, this sense of partnership, and this sense of really getting closer to the people that are most important in my life. And it's not like they're working, they're partying, they're having fun. And so it's that sense of community that is joyful, right? So what I actually wrote down was, yes, with a bunch of S's: celebration, friendship, connection, true connection with my best friends and more people. I really want to call in those deeper connections with like-minded women, and men, of course. I don't know if George is here, but yeah. So yeah, I love that. And the fish, the fish jumping in the water makes me think abundance, right? So when you see those images, even if you don't see like on the card, in the booklet, it may not say abundance, but look at the card. You feel like these are abundant, joyful women, right? So even if the description in the tarot book doesn't say that, you know instinctively that that's what it means. Or if you're looking at this one, these cups are overflowing, and not just overflowing, they're intermingling, right? They're joining in together. So you can get those images no matter which deck you're looking at, but you might find that some images draw out your intuition better than others. Okay, so the fifth card is, how can I bring my goals and intentions to fruition? So how can I actually continue down this path? And Carrie says, that card screams joy and friendship to me in the Everyday Witches illustration. Yes, exactly. And that is more of what I want in my life, instead of feeling like I'm this solo entrepreneur who is going at it alone all the time. And part of this is Janet, right? So, I've got Janet in my life now, and this is the first time I've really had someone that is like really aligned with my business ideals, that I enjoy talking to. We talk to each other on a daily basis, and it's that connection that is continuing to grow as she helps me through this business. So it's like I'm starting to see those connections get deeper and stronger. And it even, I think, applies to or resonates and echoes with the fact that we just added on new admins to the coven, and that has a new energy to it as well, because 3,000 something people is a lot for Christabel to be managing alone. But now we have a little group that we're working together, and that builds connection and friendship and relationships. And I just really love that. So the next one, how can I bring my goals and intentions to fruition? Well, this is a really good card to have drawn. So the Ace of Wands, and you can see here the hand is holding this fiery wand. It has these, I guess you could look at them as light beams or anything else. You've got the fire here, and it says Lord of the root of the power of fire. And then if you look at it in the Everyday Witch Tarot, you have a fire here with the book. See the book there? And you've got the map, a feather, a wand. There's a paintbrush here, some music, some leaves. So there's all these things kind of appearing and flowing in the fire, with this girl looking up at it like in wonder and awe. And so I see this very easily as this is all about passion and like fire, and how do I draw these things to me? And this meant so much to me the minute I saw it, because I knew that this card was all about following your joy again. So what I saw was, it tells me to really dig in, go all in with investing in myself and believing in myself, letting my creativity flow, trusting my own intuition, and stop worrying about like, is this the right video? Is this marketing right on point? Do I have my social media, images looking just the right color and stuff like that? Because I can sometimes get lost in that type of thought of like, am I being the best business strategist I can? And this card told me, you know what, if you really want to bring this community together and you want to grow this community and your relationships, and you want to continue embodying this 10 of Pentacles, like abundant wealth energy, then just follow the passion. Follow your intuition, follow the joy. And this, interestingly, this is not the card that I used the other night, but looking at it, it's like I've been wanting to get more into my art journaling. And this specifically has all this like art stuff up here. It has the book. So getting back into that daily practice of writing, not because I'm hustling, but because I love it, and following that joy, that passion, that's what this is all about. And how perfectly, when you look at it in conjunction with these other cards, how perfect is that message starting to come together of I'm letting go, because you're reading it kind of not just each individual card, you're reading it as a whole. I'm letting go of these feelings of not being worthy and stepping into this worthiness and joy and long-lasting abundance. But what's emerging is this need for rest and to let go of the hustle, and then build more connections. What I'm wanting to grow is build connections with other people to continue to build my joy and excitement and the party vibe and all of that. And then how do I do that? How do I bring that to life? Following my passion, embracing my creativity. And then the final question here is, what additional resources are available to me as I manifest my goals? And the card that I drew here was the King of Swords. And obviously you can see this king here is joined by these other, I don't know if they're imps and actually, if you read it in the book, it does tell you what a lot of the symbols are, but a lot of times I don't read what the book has to say. But you've got this, obviously like this guy up top with the pinnacle or the star on his head with the almost like moth-like butterfly wings and kind of lording over everything. And he's on a chariot. So he's moving quickly across all of this place. And I just really like that idea of he's in control. He's looking over. There's intelligence here. There's wisdom and there's trust, but there's also forward movement. If you look at the King of Swords in this deck, you've got a guy, very different type of energy to it, but you've got the guy sitting here with the book. So you've got the knowledge and the intelligence here and the sword, but he knows what he's doing. He's looking directly at the camera. He's thinking about it. He knows. He's claiming it for himself. And so for me, when I saw this card come up, what I wrote down was trust myself, trust my own experience, my own intelligence, because that is going to give me the clarity that I'm seeking. Trust it and lean in. Don't think about hustling. Don't think about all the like having to manufacture. Don't second guess yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Trust that you know what you're doing because you have the experience, you have the intelligence. So bring that together with your passion. So you've got the Ace of Wands. That's what you need is the passion, but then use your own experience and your own intelligence. And that's the other tool that you have available to you. And so that was my new moon reading. So I'm hoping that, hi. You want to come sit with me? Yeah. So I'm hoping that seeing those two things together gives you an idea of kind of how you might go through a reading for yourself based on the different cards. Yeah, you want to tell them? That is the Ace of Wands. Can you say wands?
One.
One. What's this? What's this?
It's gone.
It's a card? No, that's not a bunny. What is that? It's a kitty. No, it's not a dog. It's a cat. What sound does a cat make?
Cat.
Yeah, what's a cat say?
Meow.
Meow. She's so cute. Okay, a little distraction. But I'm hoping that that gave you some ideas on how you can actually take the cards and read into them, and how it's not just like with a reading like this, it's not just one card. They all play into each other. There's a message that's a total message being told to you here. And for me, this reading was saying you are on the right track. You are stepping into a new version of yourself, this like super manifestor, this super creator, the kind of person who makes six figures by February and, you know, is serving your community, building up that energy, following your passion. But it's also saying you got to get back to the writing. You've got to get focused on the books, but not in a way that is a hustle way, but in a way that's just joyful creation, and trust your instincts, trust your intelligence and experience, and you are going to keep growing. And I feel like that message was so life affirming. It's not that you can't get to those things on your own without tarot, but hopefully if you've never really read tarot before, you can see how drawing those cards begins to pull those things out of you. Like it's affirmation, it's life affirming, it's showing you what is truly in your heart. Like, yes, I do need to get back to that. Yes, I have grown in this way. And so it teaches you those messages as you go. And the more you do it, the more you will begin to understand those messages from the universe that are just meant for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. On Friday, we will be doing just a regular coffee chat. But if you have any more questions about tarot, I saw some people that said, where do you get your decks? I get my decks usually from like Barnes and Noble or from friends that just didn't connect with that deck. Or this particular deck, the Hermetic Tarot, I got from a shop in Colombia that was kind of a...
Yes, border.
Yeah, what are you telling them? You want to show them the card? They tell your spirit story, Aphrodite. That's a great way to put it. I got it from a metaphysical shop in Columbia, South Carolina, when I was living there. And when I walked in, I think I had told you guys that the lady there had said that she was holding on to a deck that she knew belonged to somebody, but she just wasn't sure who, and she got it for me from the back. So I have always loved this deck, and I am always open to learning more about the actual symbols, but for some reason, I just have always loved that black and white deck. So I think it's really cool. She's dropping them on the floor, so we're just gonna roll with that abundant energy from my child. And, you know, that may be a part of this little coven that's growing in my life is my own daughter. So that is super fun. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We are going to have our Friday chat. And then this weekend, if you're a writer, this weekend we've got a virtual writing retreat going on in my writing group. So I'm going to be working on the Witch's Door, of course, and hopefully making really good progress so that we can start reading The Witch's Door by next Friday. Like I said, it's not a complete commitment yet from me because it's going to depend on how this weekend goes. But if you would like to come join us, I don't know if I have a link down below, but there is a link in the Coven in the pinned post to come join that writing sprints group. I will be live writing for 2 hours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings working on The Witch's Door. So it'll be just like live writing sprints. If you want to join, we are fake pretend going to on a yacht, private yacht, and it is very awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys were wondering, Janet has come up with the last few like trips that we've been going on, and she's doing a great job with those. So we appreciate that. So you're welcome to come join us. I would like to also watch Gothica on Teleparty, and I had planned to do it this weekend, and then I remembered we have the writing retreat, so I don't want to do it during anybody's live, like in case Lisa wants to come join us like she did last time. So we will do Gothica, but we're not going to do it this weekend. We will probably do it next weekend because I don't think we have anything specific going on next weekend. So stay tuned for news on that. I will announce a little bit more on it on Friday so that we can watch it together, and I'll tell you guys all about how to do it. So that's going to be lots of fun. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the Coven. We do have a Discord server that I have not been as active on as I want to, but there's a link to join down below if you would like to join that. I think the changes that we made in the Coven have been really fun and helpful. So if you're seeing the same thing, please feel free to leave some comments or some of your own thoughts on that in the Coven. But otherwise, if you're not in our Coven, come join us. It is our Facebook group for this wonderful community, and I would love to have you there. And other than that, we've got The Witch's Door coming up really soon. Within the next week or so, we're going to start reading that book. So it's your turn to catch up. If you have not read The Witch's Key, go grab it now. The new cover should be going up next week. All right, you guys, thank you so much. You want to say goodbye to everybody? She's really studying these cards, you guys. She's like really into it. She's going to be my little witch. Do you want to say goodbye? Say bye. She's like, wait, I'm looking at these cards, Mom. Hold on. Look, you want to say bye, everybody? Nope, she's just going to keep reading some tarot. All right, bye, you guys. Thanks for joining me on this tarot journey, and I will see you all on Friday. Bye. Good night.
Oh.
Oh.